A casino's floor layout is carefully designed by experts, including the high limit rooms. The aisles, walkways, and entrances are exactly how the casino wants them. Think location, location, location. It's all set up to help the casino make a profit by manipulating slots enthusiasts. Let's get into how it works and then how you can take advantage of it. And of course, I'll be taking your questions because this is a live stream. I'm only saying that because, of course, the people who are live here now know it's a live stream, but you might be watching this after the fact. Hello to you watching this recording, whether you be on YouTube or LinkedIn or my Facebook page profile or what, Twitter. So thank you for being here. Be sure to subscribe for notifications so you can have your questions answered the next time I do one of these. But either way, stick around and I'm sure it'll be of value to you, even if you are watching this after the fact. But those of you who are here live, thank you so much. If you have a question, I see the comments already coming in. That's wonderful. If you have a question, please use hashtag question. It gets a little busy with everybody talking to each other, and that's great. But this is so I can spot your question to me instead of comments in the live chat to each other. After all, this is a community video where friends check in with each other. And also, yes. Improve your slots performance in 30 days or less with my 30 days to play slots smarter and win. You also get 3 free valuable bonuses plus 1 month free to my Slots IQ membership, where you'll get community support and accountability. Tonight is our next Zoom meeting, and the last time I think we went like an hour and a half. It was awesome, and that sort of support and accountability can help you in your slots play. Visit professorslots.com/30 days to learn more about the free bonuses, course content, and testimonials from participants. Okay. In today's live stream, I'm going over my 9th winning slot strategy. If you're new to my channel, don't worry, I'll get you caught up with the basics of this method, why it works, and if you should expect it to work at your casino. If you've heard me talk about this strategy before, however, you already know the basics. But in today's live stream, I'm adding a few bells and whistles to the method to help you to get the most out of using it. So the casino's central computer server physically connects to each slot machine in most casinos, excluding riverboat casinos where there's nothing under the floor but water. It's not a floor, it's a hull, and no place for connecting cables. Also not at small convenience store style or corner bar casinos, as neither can afford a server unless their video lottery terminals physically connected to the state lottery system. All these, every state is different, just like every other state. Your state is different, just like every other state. You're special, just like everybody else is special. And what's on that computer, that central server, remotely controlling the odds of winning on every slot machine in most casinos, whether they are old 3-reel physical reel slot machines or the most modern of touchscreen video slot machines, it's an algorithm, a program designed around the casino's chosen setup plan. Not unlike the algorithm used on YouTube. Since we're on YouTube, I'll mention, I think it's got like 7 algorithms doing several different things. One thing it's doing is what they call shorts videos, which I upload every day, or rather I post every day and make public every day. And one of them is like doing like gangbusters today on TikTok. I checked a little while ago and it was like 20,000 views in like a couple of hours. It's not my record. I think I got to like 3 million one day, and I'm like, what's going on? Sometimes I pick topics. It's your questions. You ask me a question and I answer it here, but it's kind of off the cuff because I'll do the best I can. But when you ask a question, I note it. And I put it, make a video on it where I give a 60-second thoughtful answer. And so thank you for all the great questions. You are really taking off on TikTok. Well done. My strategies take advantage of casino's central server algorithm. Not every strategy works at every casino, but your casino might have the algorithm of which up to 4 of my strategies take advantage. My 5-spin method works at about 1 in 4 casinos. And my strategy for my last live stream, the casino environment, works at casinos which are not a riverboat casino. But this strategy of highly visible locations works at nearly all casinos, even riverboat casinos without a central computer server. It worked before central servers existed, as I learned from personal experience, shocking personal experience back in 2004, which I'll mention again in a moment. Let's back up for a second and look at the big picture. The real reason why many casinos don't allow pictures to be taken isn't about customer privacy or copyright infringement, although these reasons certainly do exist and are quite serious. But casinos don't allow pictures because doing so makes it too easy for us to figure out the design of the casino floor. Are you a facilities planner for factories? I've done some facility planning, including for the HMC at Tinker Air Force Base. I just say this stuff. People say, you say stuff that, everybody, I've had meetings where I've said something and everybody looks at me like, John, everybody knows that. And then I say stuff and everybody's like writing. And I'm like, lean over to my buddy and what's going on? We didn't know that. And so I can't tell the difference, right? So maybe I designed a factory at Tinker Air Force Base. What of it? Anyway, maybe you've done something like that too. Combining that knowledge base with a pattern recognition ability creates within you a powerful winning slot strategy I used to call location, location, location. That's from the old joke, what are the 3 most important things about real estate? Nowadays, I call it my highly visible locations method of winning at slots. I'm going to jump in here with a tangent. I'm a little bit concerned right now. It was exactly 47 minutes ago that my house went on the market. So if I happen to glance at my phone and see if it's been sold yet, please pardon me. I'll try not to. Let me turn it over so I can't see it. Okay, there we go. I'm with you. I'm with you for up to 2 hours. It's well known that slot machine manufacturers the house I've sold. It's well known that slot machine manufacturers provide multiple sets of odds for each slot machine from which casinos can choose to make a slot machine tight or loose within legal limits. These loose machines we're looking for aren't randomly chosen by the casino. Instead, casinos select better odds of winning for slot machines at prominent locations on the casino floor to have the greatest bang for their buck. Why is that? Like my last strategy, it's all about marketing, casino profit, and the manipulation of players to get their bankroll. Profit, which might instead be ours to collect if you want and if you find and take advantage of this casino setup. Before central servers with its algorithm came into existence at casinos, this was around 2012 when those came out, this strategy was the only way to win. A machine was set to win near a crowded area of the casino, like a bar or other places where people gather. That's where I won endless jackpots in 2004. I'm not exaggerating. It's just endless. At Prairie Meadows, this is well before casinos servers came out in 2012, started coming out in 2012. Every casino wanted them, and they got rolled out real fast, but not so much before 2012. And this is back in 2004. If you've read my book, Camilla, I have plans. Maybe I could get some advice from people. I will get to your question in a moment. Excellent. If you've read my book, Learning to Win, I tell you about my experience with first being subjected to a winning machine. And I do mean subjected. It was just shocking. 15 hand pays over $1,200 in 6 days. And I was only there like 4 hours a day, and I wasn't there every day. On a $1 machine, not a high limit machine, on a $1 machine. And I had literally hundreds of wins less than $1,200. I mean, many hundreds. I tried to keep track of these small wins with hash marks on my palm. And I had one section for like $50 wins, $100 wins, $500 wins, $25 wins, $1,000 wins. My palm wasn't big enough. I was running out of space to count on one of these visits, and I could only keep track. So I decided, okay, I only keep track of the $1,000 wins. I stopped counting around when I got to around 60. I mean, just endless. And then it all stopped. And I came in on the seventh day, and it all stopped. And so this is what created, as I talk about in my book, this is what created Professor Slots. What casinos are trying to do is to let others see you win. So those others get excited and spend money playing slots. In this way, yes, casinos lose money on one machine, but recoup those losses many times over from those slots enthusiasts reacting by playing other slot machines not set up to win because they don't know to watch for this casino manipulation technique. There, don't you feel better? That's the why. But what's the how? How do you find those slot machines at your casino? Well, it helps to know that they exist so you can look for them. I found it's not that difficult to spot them. It does take a change in attitude and kind of have to look up from your slot machine, as I try to encourage people to do. Look up. All you need to do is walk the casino floor and look. There might be up to 3, just to let you know what's going on out there. There might be up to 3 slot machines in your casino set up to have higher odds. Some will have more. Some casinos will have more, depending on the casino's planned budget for this marketing technique. When you find them, they are likely already being played. The disadvantage of this strategy is that others have already figured it out. But luckily, it's not always consciously known. Some slots enthusiasts know a winning machine when they see others play at it, then come back later to play it themselves. But most don't know why it's a winning machine, don't know it's a strategy, don't know they can use this approach repeatedly to find the other winning slot machines in their casino, or how to use this approach at any other casino, as I do. And as Flip, who was here, I don't know if he's here today, was here on Tuesday, as Flip had done, as he shared on the last live stream with his $100 tip. Thank you so much, Flip, which he gave because he won a hand pay over $4,000 using this approach. And so can you. During a paid consult, I found a YouTube video where someone walked through an area of my client's favorite casino, Yamava. There aren't many such walking through a casino videos because it's illegal in 3 different ways. It is. I don't know why I laugh about that. I see people saying, nobody ever does this. And I'm like, yeah, for good reason. But one video records walking into Yamava's high limit room with my client during a paid consultation, which are really kind of filling up lately, which is great. I paused the recording near the beginning, just as they turn right to walk into the high limit slots room. Then there's an entrance, and there's the table games on one side and the slot machines in the other. So you turn right, you walk into the highest limit slot rooms, and then we paused it and we looked at the image. What did we see? I saw a winning machine. When I showed this image to my consultation client, you know what? He already knew it was a winning machine. How? Because he'd seen so many others win on it. He was so familiar with that high limit machine, that room, that he knew from experience which machines were often a winner. He just didn't know why they were set up as winners. But now he knew what to look for elsewhere in his casino, just like you're about to learn, just like you're learning. Here's how to get started finding these groups of candidate slot machines, whether they are inside the high limit room or not. 1, lots of comments coming in. I'll get to them in a moment. 1, stand in front of a slot machine. 2, turn around so your back is to it. 3, what do you see in front of the machine? If you see a wall, try another slot machine. If you see other people looking back at you, that's a candidate slot machine you should consider playing. Because this casino marketing approach is budgeted, you'll want to start with the casino's highest traffic areas. At Prairie Meadows in Iowa, they budgeted 1 slot machine for this, and it wasn't set to win all the time. Just certain parts of the year. That's what happens when casinos assign it a small budget. But at Soaring Eagle in Michigan, it's every end of row slot machine. Now, fair warning, this method is mentally exhausting when you first try it, as Flip told us during Tuesday's live stream. And there's also a lot of walking involved, but it gets easier with practice. Practice, practice, practice. I'll also mention that I didn't originally put this method in the book. I put a variation of it in the book, which didn't require much thought at all. It wasn't mentally exhausting. So if you find this method to be a challenge, was it Saturday? I think it was Saturday. Let's see. Yeah, Saturday. This last Saturday was up my live stream on Return Later, Deja Vu method. And that's this method where it's not hard. If you see a win, you come back a week later. That's it. That's easy. But if you walk the casino and you try to find the machine that's the winner, it's a little bit more tiring. Now, once you learn your casino, you're done. Once you found all the machines, then the mental effort is gone. Unfortunately for me, I'm now doing new to me casino visits every week, so I pretty much have to exhaust myself. So if you're doing that, if you live on the Las Vegas Strip, live near the Las Vegas Strip, or want to try to do that, practice, 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 and you'll get better at it. It won't be so tough on you. So if you want to prove this method works for yourself, target the most highly visible machines. Go look at your casino's entrance, the main one and the secondary entrance. That perhaps gets more use. I found the elevators from the parking garage were more important at MGM Grand Detroit than the fantastically designed Main Street entrance. And Harrah's North Kansas City has several entrances, but the opening led to the restaurants and hotel check-in desk has 2 winning slot machines. Because don't forget to look for slot machines facing those entering the casino, but also those that are leaving. Casinos like to catch people coming and going. As I teach in my online course, 30 Days to Play Slots Smarter and Win, find your casinos, and I should post that. Yeah, so be sure to, several things I want to post here. Be sure to like this video. It will help people be pulled in from the YouTube algorithm. And I'm manipulating it right here by asking you to like this video, and more people will show up. But as I teach in my online course, 30 Days to Play Slots Smarter and Win, and yes, let me do that. I'll put the link up for that as well. As I teach in my online course, find your casino's main aisle. Walk this widest aisle to find its intersection with the second widest aisle. And I will share this image of what that intersection looks like. Where are you at? Where are you at? It's not up. Okay, so it's I need to share something with you, and where is it at? Just a moment. Let me pull that up for you. And references. There it is. Right. So this is a map, sort of a schematic of what it looks like at Soaring Eagle last year in November. So there's a main aisle, and which you may be able to see. Yep. Okay. And just trying to, I need to get another monitor, second monitor. I'm so used to it. It's, but you know, the house has to sell. My 18-year-old monitor did not make the trip. Okay, so here is the main aisle. And there's a second aisle here, and this is the intersection for that aisle. I found machines that were angled towards this intersection. It's a little bigger than I represent. There was one machine, and this was a red star. And then there was another machine that there was, I think, four machines. And I played first one, then the second, then the third, and then the fourth. And the fourth was obviously the winner. What you can do is use my tough love method and just make 10 bets. If you don't win anything at all, walk away. Tough love. But if you do win something, go another 10 bets for 20 total bets, and then ask yourself, is this machine worth staying with? Not will it be worth staying with? Has it already paid me? And tough love approach, and then proceed from there. So this is what that intersection looks like. This was last year in 2021. They may have reorganized. They certainly did. Towards the bars up here at the top of this, there's another nice section. I wouldn't call it the main intersection, but there was a secondary intersection. This Soaring Eagle in Michigan, they apparently have a good budget. So it's every end of row machine that was paying out. And so that second smaller intersection, not the main intersection, walking intersection was great also. And that's the sort of thing that you're looking for. So yes, that's an example. Let's see, there's also, I told you about Harrah's. I told you about Miami Valley. No, Prairie Meadow. Yeah, Miami Valley has that too. But anyway, when I review the casino, this is one of the things that's easy enough to look for. Practice, 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 right? That's what to watch for. But there's also highly visible displays, which should be avoided. The best way I can explain these slot machines is the casino's trying too hard. When walking through your casino to look for these groups of highly visible machines, let me grab that. Okay. Right. Good. All set up here. When walking through your casino to look for these groups of highly visible slot machines, one of which might be a candidate slot machine for you to end up winning on, watch out for extra visible groups of slot machines. You know the ones I mean. Groups of machines which the casino has obviously turned into a big display. Ameristar St. Charles in Missouri has a 15-foot high red neon cowboy display. It's a great gimmick, but my first thought was to avoid it. If you visit that riverboat casino, you should too. These displays make me think the casino is trying too hard. They seem a little too desperate and are therefore worth avoiding. These groups to avoid include a row of carousel of progressive slot machines with the same progressive jackpot amount and perhaps one huge sign above them showing that common progressive jackpot. For example, almost 2 years ago, Nevada stopped providing megabucks line item in their return statistics. And its odds were month after month worse than the odds of penny machines, which is really saying something. It was around 87%, except for those few months, occasionally once a year or so, when someone would win the megabucks progressive jackpot. At a minimum, that's a $10 million hand pay. Otherwise, it's very low odds. Otherwise, make sure you check high limit room entrances. If you can see into a high limit room from 20 feet outside of the room, which machines can you see to win? At the downtown Cincinnati casino, I won 77 of my 90 W2G hand pays in 9 months before winning the car on such machines. That's how I developed my fondness for Wheel of Fortune slot machines. When people ask me what's my favorite machine, I say, well, I do have a fondness for them. Not that I play them at a casino because I think they're better odds. It's because I've won on them at a casino where they did have better odds. That makes the distinction makes sense. The casino floor layout is carefully designed by experts, including the high limit rooms. The aisles and larger walkways are exactly how the casino wants them. So are the small and large entrances into the casino. Think location, location, location. So improve your slots play in 30 days or less with my 30 days to play smarter and win. You also get 3 free valuable bonuses plus 1 month free to my Slots IQ membership, which you can use at any time. You could wait a year if you wanted to, but that first month is free when you sign up for that feature, which is offered in the course. So this is where you'll get community support and accountability. Visit professorslots.com/30 days to learn more about the free bonuses, course content, and testimonials from participants. Now, one of the things I want to share here is my article on this. So you can see, yes. And you can, if you go to my website, professorslots.com, and you go right here, can you see that, where it says strategy? Some of you are on a small device. Right there is strategies. This is a category. And if you click on that, then you'll be taken to my strategy articles. And there is next live stream on Saturday will be about Bank the Bonus, but this is highly visible locations. This is that article. I've embedded the video, and I'm working on the wording here, making a better presentation to remove some of the confusing statements or statements that might be confusing to some people, and just sort of like polish. And so one of the things I show in this is this example of and talk about is to give you some practice at deciding which of these machines in this picture, a freely available picture, that might be a winning slot machine, and then you could go check. So you can, there's possibly 100 slot machines in this image, but candidate ones would be 1, 2, 3. There's one of the 5, 4, 3, 4, maybe 5 here. Maybe that one 6, 4, 5, 6 out of hundreds. And that's what I'm talking about here. That's the sort of practice that you need. So yes, so how this works is I talk for the first little bit of the live stream, let people get comfortable, ask questions, and then I answer those questions for however long it takes to get to 2 hours on the live stream. And because I can only go about 2 hours of talking before my voice starts to give out. And so therefore, if you have questions, please ask them. Make sure you use #question to get your questions answered. I have a few questions from people who have chatted with me and who made comments and such. So I have a few questions for you if you don't have questions right now, but it looks like we got a few. So I'll start going through them. Let's see, for another hour and a half. We'll see how long, how many questions you have, etc. So Frenzy says, hello, PS. Hi, Frenzy. At Talking Sticks, Sticks, is it Sticks or Stick? Talking Stick, isn't that Arizona, right? Or New Mexico? Trying to remember. Has been trying the 5-spin for 1 set machine. 1 out of 5 trips averages 75%. Would you just try it in the high limit room? I would say it doesn't have it. 1 in 4 casinos don't have the 5-spin method, and you can't make them have it. If you've gone on multiple trips and you're getting a average of 75%, that's pretty much on the low end. Yeah, I mean, you might try going and not playing any machine, but rather just the end of row machines with the 5-spin method. Just, this is what happens with my strategies. There's the newbies who are like, follow the rules, do the thing. And then there's the people who have done it for a while and they're like, I think I might want to do 8 spins, or maybe I want to do just the machines at the entrance, to improve the return, or maybe just the end of row machines. And so what happens naturally is people, I teach people to fish. I don't give them fish. I teach people to fish, as it were, the metaphor. And they start doing their own thing, which I love, and that's great. So from what you said, it's not looking good. And and that happens. And I try to warn people, 1 in 4 casinos. But they don't get it. They either have it or they don't. And we can't make them as much as we wish hard that they would have it. I wouldn't try the high limit room, but I might try end of row machines and see if you can up that return, because you only go to high limit rooms when the return is better than what you stated. Okay. That's my opinion. Any decor plans? Lots of decor plans. Lots of decor plans. I thought I would put like a couch on this wall and a love seat on the end, and etc. I've got a beautiful little picture. Well, I won't share it. Yes, but all this, my dog Isaac pretty much wiped out my 20-year-old sofa, so I did not bring it with me to Reno in the car. Not that it would have fit in the minivan. And so, yeah, I need a new couch and all of that. So when the house sells, I'll feel a little more comfortable about expenses and budgeting things. So yeah, and it's been an hour. It's been an hour and 10 minutes since it went on the market. Is it sold yet? I'm not looking at my phone. I've turned my phone over. I don't know if it's sold. I'm told that it won't instantly be purchased same day. That was months ago, and now there's sort of like a small wait period. Yeah, and it's also a log home. The inventory is very low in Southwest Ohio. If you're interested in a log home in Southwest Ohio, it's out on the market there, and you can take a look at it. That if you like that sort of thing, I just simply loved it. But being near family is important, and that's why I moved to Reno. And then like 3 days later, I was like, wait, might be good for business. Have to check that out. Yeah, so it sounds like Elaine is answering Frenzy and saying that found 2 machines to go to and got small wins. So that's what I suggest, is you find the few machines where the returns are better and just do the 5-spin method on them. And Pentablack says, always see the same winning machines being used. Doesn't take long before people figure out which of the obvious winning machines are. Yes and no. One of the things that you can do, like if people aren't coming in the morning at 4 o'clock in the morning, then they don't know that people are coming in at 4 o'clock in the morning and winning. You have to be there. So I talk about this in the course. There are winning slots methods which are obvious. Oh, wow, he just sat down on the machine, made what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bets, and then he moved away, and he won a hand pay. What's going on? And that's really obvious. If people, see that, and he gets up and he goes down to the next machine, and what do you know? It does the same thing, and he gets a hand pay. What's going on? And it's like really obvious. So that goes away quickly. A lot of casinos will have the 5-spin method and then just like shut it down in 18 months. And not shut it down, turn down the wins, like at Belterra Park in Ohio, to be reasonable, to be not a little better than what you would, put in with your bankroll, and which is great. But I loved, when it dropped to $500 wins, that I was getting in the high limit room. And I was disappointed with that, because it had been, just over the W2G hand pay amount. But before that, it had been over $10,000. And in between, it had been around $5,000. So when it came out to $500, I was really upset. And then I kind of like talked to myself and I said, come on, John, it paid for the gas on the trip and the car payment for the next 2 months. Don't be upset. And I'm like, okay, I guess. All right. So yeah, if it's really obvious, people will overuse it. But that's one of the advanced topics, not to throw everybody in the deep end of the pool, but this is something we talk about in the Slots IQ membership, is, not just how to do it, but how not to be noticed that you're doing it, so you can delay everybody else doing it. Like I used to tell people, come back a week later. I want a jackpot at this time, in this machine. And I'm going to come back in a week and I'm going to do that again. And I do. And nobody ever, who I told that to, and I told a lot of people, were sitting at that machine. When I got there, I would have been like, oh, I can't believe they do that. and yeah, so yeah, yeah. So, and I see an interesting question. Hashtag question: are the YouTubers that are winning tens of thousands of dollars on slots legit? Are they using cash money or some sort of promotional credits from the casino? Seems very fishy. So what they're doing is called editing. Brian Christopher has been very open about this. He says nobody wants to see me lose. So he'll record 1 day a week, all day, and then he'll post 2 videos per day during that whole week. And then the rest of the time he'll work on promotional efforts, trying to get his, he successfully got his cartoon image on a slot machine. It's all over the country, that sort of thing. He works on promotional deals. So is it legit? Sure. And I think it's Lady Luck. She posted a video in November, was it last year, that talked about, well, I'm spending like $10,000 a month playing slot machines. No, not. She said she's making $40,000 in revenue per month. And she showed the numbers. She didn't show all the numbers. One of the secrets that's not a secret that I happen to know is that YouTubers make a certain amount of money per 1,000 views. And if you're a realtor, it's $50. And if you're a gamer, it's 50 cents. What is it for the slots channels? Well, I have a slots channel that I'm monetized. So I will tell you, $10. $10 per 1,000 views. So she showed how many views she got in a month, right there in our YouTube video. And I went multiply in my head, and $40,000 per month. Well, that's revenue. And that's not including like Brian Christopher's brand deals of getting his, the licensing that he's getting on the slot machines, which is great. That I'm glad he did that. It broke through the ceiling for us. Now the rest of us will find it easier to do that. But yeah, so what's going on here is $40,000 per month. Let's just do, I've got a master's degree in engineering management, not my only master's degree. Yeah, that's what I should put up on the wall. I should put my degrees back up on the wall, all 8 of them, 8 college degrees, no kidding. And anyway, including a PhD. In any case, when you, $40,000, right? 1/3 goes to taxes, highest tax bracket. 1/3 goes to taxes. 1/2 goes back into the slot machines to make those videos to get that. So that's only about, what is it, $7,000 a month profit? And that's maybe $80,000 a year. No wonder she couldn't give up her day job. So she decided to go to 2 videos per day instead of, no, it was 1 video every other day. And she decided to do 1 video per day. And then she deformed up with the rest of us, like, early this year, that she's okay, I'm going to be at my day job. And I gave up my day job, or the day job was taken from me. I was laid off as this aerospace engineer. So that's basically what's going on. Is it legit? I think it's interesting to watch the live streams, because you can't really cut out a section of the live stream, because that shuts down the live stream. And so that's the sort of thing that will, I get a lot of people saying, you should do live, instead of recording your play at casinos and then editing out long losing sections, you should do live streams from the casino. And I'm like, who are you talking to? I don't record my play at casinos. I walk around through the casino, and because that's a privacy concern, with having people's faces shown, because I can't bring the camera up and show where the security cameras are. The casino gets mad at me. I can't record audio because YouTube will give me a copyright strike, and you only get 3, and then you're lifetime out. So, 3 ways that it's illegal. So, people are like complaining to me what other slots enthusiasts are doing. And I'm just like, Yeah, great cut and paste comment. Let me know when you have a question. Uh, for me, okay, Back in Black. I love you. I love all you guys. Okay, but I'm not gonna enable people. Yes, Back in Black says, would you consider doing a live? Here we go. A live demo at a brick and mortar casino using your strategies during one of your live streams. Um, so many do it already. I mean, it would be like going to the end of the line. And it's not about playing a slot machine, it's about finding the slot machine. I don't see how educational it would be. You're asking me to be like everybody else and stop doing unique content. And I don't think that's good for you. Um, you know, if I can find some middle ground here, how do I walk through a casino? I mean, I could walk through the casino with you. I'm in Reno now. I'm planning on offering a service where I'll come meet you for a fee. I have to get on a plane after all, and do it with you, as I've done with Jan, as I've done with Paula, as I've done with Chuck, as I've done with my moderators. Uh, would you like that? That's something I have done. Um, yeah. Uh, well, my lights just flickered, but we're still here. Excellent. Yeah, so I don't see how doing that would, you know, so I found a winning machine and now I'm winning on the machine. Sorry, I didn't show you how I did this. Why don't I, as a versus what I currently do, which is, I will tell you at the entrance to Harrah's North Kansas City, which machine, the one on the left of the Dragon Links that you can see from the entrance, right there. That's, yeah. I can understand. One of my members has said that why people are asking for live streaming is because the endorphins in their brain want to have that experience, and they really can't get enough from watching slots channels. So they're asking me to do it too. It's not really about, for them, it's not really about learning. It's about just having one more channel providing numbing information about how watching other people win. And it's, yeah, I don't know if do your own, self enlightenment and decide whether or not that's what you want. In which case, there's even slots channels out there that use my techniques for me, and that's because they can't do anything else. They can't do anything except play slots. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If I could find a way, I will see. But right now, it's like I can't find anything that would be helpful for you. Again, walking through the casino is the trick. John, Bonnie. Hi, Bonnie. Bonnie's been really helpful. Thank you, Bonnie. Bonnie, on machines like Dragon Link, does higher betting dollars increase your odds to win the major and grand prize? What about the minor and minor balls? Are those odds the same? So when you make so how this works is it's basically a progressive machine. And when there's a must hit buy, I'm still tired from that 32-hour drive a week ago, or parts of me are. Um, when you're playing a progressive slot machine, Lightning Link or not, you are trying to get to a must hit buy number. Okay. And the first person over wins. And when you are making maximum bets, then you are making it jump further. If you are on a carousel of networked progressive machines, Lightning Link or not, or a row, front and back row of those machines, if everybody else is doing minimum bet, let's say there's 6 machines and you're on one of them, and you could make minimum bets, and there's a 1 in 6 chance that you'll be the person that gets past the must hit buy amount. But if you make maximum bets, and the maximum bets are 6 times as much, 5 or 6 times as much, then there's a 50-50 chance that you'll be the one that goes over that amount. And so you could have better odds out of all of the people that are pushing that number up to go over the number that it would be you. That's part of it. The other things is that sometimes each denomination has different odds of winning. And while all the machines in network for the progressive jackpots have the same odds. That's requirement. Uh, Sometimes if it's the higher amount, you can have better odds. Sometimes the higher amount has lower odds. The point is each denomination is different, usually with pennies being the highest, the lowest odds, and the highest money maker for the casino with the lowest odds for the players. And so if you want to make, you know, how do I put this? If you play a multi-denomination machine, play 10 bets on each, 10 or 20 bets with the tough love method on each denomination. And you'll be able to see from your experience of those 20 bets, which one is the better denomination. Then play that denomination. There you go. Because don't forget that while you have progressive jackpots that you can win, you can also have line pays, straight up non-progressive amounts. And those can be pretty decent too. I hope that answers your question. Minka is in. Hi, Minka. Good to see you here. Velvet Duke, how do you treat those hexagon or circular groupings that aren't rows when at an intersection that may not have one machine exactly centered? It's better if it's not exactly centered. I mean, this is the reason why the thoughtfulness of this gets to be a little exhausting. Okay, if there's a slot machine right there facing you and someone's sitting at it, can you see the wins? Well, if it has a Wheel of Fortune machine up there, like my light does, then you can see over the person standing in front of it. But if it doesn't have a higher display, then the person that's sitting at the machine blocks the view. So you want, and the casino knows this perfectly well. So you need to have kind of like an angle, so you can see past the person, so you can see the screen and you can see a big jackpot. Unless it's like the video slots like Lightning Link where fills the whole top to bottom of the screen. So these things are the considerations that need to go into place. So yeah, where are the people facing it? Now there might be 3 or 4. I showed you that intersection at Soaring Eagle, 3 or 4 in a straight row, angled at a major intersection. Which one? Well, all I can do is help you reduce, 1,000 slot machines down to 4. After that, you got to figure out on your own which one. And so I don't think it's very hard with the tough love method to play each one, 10 bets, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. Oh, 2, what was it? At my Maristar has that at the entrance. Chuck and I 2 bonus rounds, and I was like, Chuck, what do you think? And he's like, I would prefer 3. Move on. Okay, I would have preferred 2, but okay. So yes. Okay, so I think yeah, I don't. So Sean is saying who the slot channel was that he's referring to. As the responsible one, as the thoughtful, as the educational slots channel, I get a lot of questions from people saying, what did that other person mean? What is that other person doing? Because they hope that I can explain to them, what was going on this video. It could be because that person doesn't understand what they're doing. It could be that other person, says, I get 300 emails a day and I'm not going to answer any more of them, or maybe I'll stop at 100. That can happen. You can be overtaxed on being able to comment back. So it's, people really want to know, and so they ask me. But I'm not the principal of a high school with a bunch of different teachers in it, and doing whatever. I'm not the provost of a university trying to wrangle a bunch of faculty members. It's they do what they want, and it's not I'm not their mother. I don't know what this one that you're referring to is doing, because I know in general what's going on. I don't sit down and track them. You cannot lead if you follow. Right? It's just an engineering principle. That's what you get when you get a master's degree in engineering management. Minka says, excellent. What about automated craps, roulette, and poker tables? They are not slots, but have you looked at them? I've looked at the gaming laws, and they are slot machines everywhere in the United States except Nevada, because Nevada has Regulation 14.040, paragraph 5 on page 9 of the Nevada's revised statutes, the gaming regs. And if you read that, and I have an article on it, it says that video poker, any video game, any slot machine, any video machine that has poker, roulette, craps, blackjack, any of those games based on the table game have the odds of the table game. So those machines in Nevada are legally required not to have a random number generator. A card game, a dice game, a roulette wheel, that's math. No need for a random number generator. Just calculate it, and there you go. So in Nevada, they're not slot machines, but that's actually a hard thing to do for slot manufacturers to provide. And every other state that I've looked at, all the other states that I've looked at, I have not found that. You can check your own gaming regulations to verify. There's 50 states, so feel free to check. And the compacts, it's a very simple statement in the Nevada regs, and it not anywhere else in the United States. And if it's not a requirement, then the slot manufacturers are not going to pay that feature, because casinos are going to say, why does this cost so much? And slot manufacturers say, oh, sorry, So outside of Nevada, those machines are slot machines. You have to play optimal play, but it's also a slot machine that can have better odds on time of day and day of the week and etc., because it's also a slot machine. And so I have looked into them, and that's what's going on. Mike said at casino, have you stopped taking your break yet? Enjoy. Yeah, good. Glad that you're here. Which casino? Sean, would very much like to have some meeting you in person. I am providing that. I'm still working it out. A lot of people come to Las Vegas, and it's an easy flight from Reno to Las Vegas. And I'm looking at the option of, right now I already offer paid consultations. I have a couple tomorrow. And one of them is for Las Vegas, someone who's going in in November. And so what I do is I research what focus is. As always, they fill out the form, and I research where they're at, what they're doing, how much they spend, and tell them what I know about what's going on, how to take advantage of the state return statistics, if there are any, the state gaming regs, what's going on there, etc. But then I thought, I'm in Reno now, for like 10 days. and why not add a feature to this? Actually, Magpie 11, I don't think she's here today. Sorry, I just noticed a bunch of comments. Great. All right, so, okay. Right, so I'm thinking about adding a feature where I add a second hour to my 1 hour consultation, and I do the 1 hour consultation in person, and then I add a second hour of taking that individual, backing up my laptop, saying, okay, let's go to your casino, let's walk it. I'll show you what I see. All right, just like what you want from a live stream, only not a live stream, just live. Yeah. I'm exploring it. I'm seeing if people even want such a thing, and yeah. Let's see. So Steve says, do you know anything about a closed lap? Haven't I gotten this question before? Maybe you commented on one of the videos. Do you know anything about a closed loop feedback control system to regulate wins? I've heard talk about this, just wondering. Wasn't that something somebody kind of, yeah, somebody mentioned it on my Professor Slots Enthusiast Facebook group, if you remember. And basically, it's a word salad. It's all very interesting words thrown together in sort of a odd way, mutually contradictory. I've asked the original person who posted that to please explain the question, explain the concept, because it's just, how can a closed loop system be a feedback control loop? And regulate wins. The state law regulates wins, so it's just word salad. But it sure did get people talking. Yeah. Yeah, it's like using the word volatility when you don't know what it means. It's such a beautiful word. Makes some people sound smart when they use it, except to people who know what it actually means, and they don't sound smart. But how often does that happen? People will, post things and have comments, whether, well, I'm not their mother. Question from Open Eyes. You have previously taught me to look for abrupt changes. Yep, that was what Tuesday's video was about, live stream was about, for abrupt changes of the casino being usually busy. If the change occurs at the same time each week, is that considered abrupt change while the casino is busy? It just means it's scheduled. It just means that it wasn't, you seeing something that wasn't there. It's just something that you go every Friday at Firekeepers in Southwest Michigan, Tribal Casino in Southwest Michigan, where I've been. I talk about Friday night observations. You go at that time every Friday because you've seen again and again, that's when the abrupt change takes place. This is the schedule of the casino. You've learned that. Excellent. Yeah, see, all my strategies, I try to sort of explain them for the newbie, right? But then the first thing that happens is people who take the course are like this. I have one strategy that I talk about in the course, which just combines two strategies, a best practice and a tip. Sort of combine them, and that's what happens naturally. So when you see the 5-spin method and you see end of row machines are paying out, then you kind of go, well, how do I combine this? It's a natural process. So yes, you've seen abrupt change. That's what you learned from using the strategy. Now you're seeing a regular schedule, and you're using the other concepts that I teach to advance on your slots journey. Well done. Andrew says the Kashada has been moving a lot of machines around and getting new machines. So it's getting rid of machines too. Interesting. Does that mean that they have changed their winning methods? No. One of the videos that I put up recently was what happens when casinos move your winning machine. Well, the machine that they put in its place is a winner. I mean, if they move the winning machine and now it's a beverage dispenser, then that's a change. But if they just simply move in and out one of the machines on a carousel, then if that was a winning machine, it remains a winning machine because the winning machine was based on its location, not on its game theme. And if it moves someplace else, it may still be a winner, but only if the machine that it replaced someplace else in the casino was before that a winner. And yeah. Good question. And tribal casinos are tribal casinos, so they don't often get sold, as in never get sold. They sometimes will hire a new operator, but the ownership doesn't change because the tribe owns it. Now, the ownership at Caesars, well, those are all Eldorado now. Eldorado took the Caesars name. and so those consolidations and splitting offs and Boyd Gaming coming in and doing whatever, it's all, that's something where the new management can make changes. But a tribal casino doesn't get new management. Yeah. Thank you, Camilla. I will look for that. Velvet, you're relatively. I know. I'm close to Washington. I'm close to the California tribal casinos. I'm close to Oregon. Before from Ohio, 3 time zones. I got to travel. I did that to go on a California cruise. So I went to Seattle for a few days before the cruise just to acclimate so that I'd be in better condition on the cruise for 7 days. And my goodness, that is. Was a long way to go, particularly when I was working as an aerospace engineer. And like, I get there and I turn around and come back. And so, yeah, the park, no taxes involved in California. And highly recommend. Yeah, Vancouver. I took the water sea tour on the amphibious boat vehicle and a truck and I thought that was great. And I thought after I came back, I'm like, I should have gone to the casino instead, but I don't regret it. I really do love those things. Yeah, I would love to go to Vancouver and try out the casinos in Canada, Montreal as well, Ontario, Caesars Windsor, but the last time I was through Detroit, Ambassador's Bridge was closed because of the trucking issue, if you know about that. Yeah. Sean says, I bought your course, so just getting started. That's why I don't make the 30-day free Slots IQ membership start at the purchase of the course. It starts whenever you want to, and it can be later. When you make 10 bets using Tough Love, do you mean minimum bet at lowest denomination? Okay, used to physical real machines. Yeah. There's a myth out there that the larger denominations have better odds, which is a misunderstanding that other slots channels kind of take advantage of. And they say, well, you make more, that means you have better odds. No, it doesn't. It just means that when you put in $100, that almost every win is a hand pay. It doesn't mean that you actually made a better percentage back than you did when you made a 90-cent bet. And that's hard for people. Just that little statement is like, yes. Yes. I like to use the Tough Love method using minimum denomination, although I do try to avoid penny slots. So if it's a multi-denomination machine, I like to do the 2-cent option, 1 cent, 2 cent, 5 cent, 10 cent. I like to do the 2-cent option because the 1 cent is traditionally every place that reports it, the worst odds ever. And not so much for 2 cent or 5 cent or whatever the next denomination up is on multi-denomination. We have so many more multi-denomination machines. I'm having to get used to that. We had some, and then we have a lot more, and now it's just what everybody talks about, and you need to discuss that. So as you raised on the old 3-reel machines, and you're probably like me going, well, there's a lot of multi-denomination machines. I'm still trying to get used to having so many penny machines. 90-cent bets, isn't that a high limit machine? You make a $10 bet on a penny machine. Isn't that high limits? But moving on, when I graduated from high school, I had never seen a computer before, and look at me now. So, excuse me. People talking to one another about going, yeah. Jill says, hey, Jill, good to see you. I took a screenshot of the location of candidate machines. I find a Great Buffalo machine. Now I have Winners Bank too. Hey, wonderful. Excellent progress. This is what I talk about. This is what I mean when I talk about your slots journey. You have this slots journey that you're doing. And we're all on one, and we're going through quicksand and over mountains, through mountain passes, and etc. Great view sometimes, and other times we're like, oh, this is scary. Question from Andrew. Kashada has been moving a lot of machines. You added the hashtag question. I think I already answered this one. And lots of back and forth about the Vancouver casinos. Frenzy says, I do try the methods in your course. Location sounds like percent location sounds, what percent would be ideal? What is your cash app? I won $2,000 on location in Lachlan. So what do you mean by cash app? If you're asking about making a donation, you can make a donation through YouTube. You can go to professorslots.com/YouTube. professorslots.com/tip. If you're asking, I'm not sure that you're asking that, but if you wanted to use what's called the Cash app, then I'm at Professor Slots. If you want to use, what else? Zello, like some banks have, you can just email me at john@professorslots.com. And I'll be happy to provide that if that's what you're looking for. I do try your methods on your course. Location sounds like what percent would be ideal? The return, are you asking about? Well, I'm still sore. The budget of the casino provides that. And they, people know about it and take advantage of it, then they reduce it over time. So profit is profit. When I talk about in the course and I have to break the bad news. Well, how much do you win, John? Do you make millions? And I'm like, what, on penny machines? People get this excited idea of, you got multiple houses or whatever. And I'm like, what are you talking about? There's this fantasy that driven by scammers that winning at slots is like, my neighbor was like, I want to go to the casino with you and make millions. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I have to break the fantasy. If you go and you use my methods, you can make 30% profit over your bankroll. If you go, and that's kind of like if you make an effort. If you optimize, you make 50% over bankroll. So if you go with $100, you leave with $130 on average. If you go with $100 bankroll, you leave with $150 on average. If your bankroll is $1,000, then you leave with $1,300. And if you go with $1,000 and you're up at around 50% on average because you've optimized and worked hard, $1,500. Sorry to disappoint, yeah. Steve says, I'm having problems at my local casino now that I'm posting oh yeah. See, this is what happens. You win and people brag. People win, people brag, and then they go to their machine and like, I can't get on it. Oh, thank you. Someone found the Cash App. Thank you, Ricardo. Appreciate it. Sorry, I don't mean to call you out. That's what you were asking about. Thank you. Now it's being a challenge to you've been, I think it's been you, right? You've been doing pretty well at sharing everything on your state's Facebook group. I won't mention which one it is to make this problem worse. This is what happens. Yeah. You have a choice. You can be less famous or you can win money. Sorry, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Yeah. Wow, tough problem. Yeah. Sean, thank you for answering my many questions and explaining the definitions to me. It was very helpful. I'm glad I could help. I try to, speak to the people who are just learning as much as the people who are here, because it's, I've done, what is it? By the end of the year, I should have around 200 live streams. Been doing it for like 2 years. November will be 2 years. Yeah, I'm glad to help the people who are new and glad to help the returning people, as I think you'll see if you return. Frenzy, so 5-spin method percent. So the 5-spin method is there's play 20 machines. If half of them are giving you a return, good. If 3/4 of them, 75%, 15 of them give a return, great. If 19 or 20 out of 20 give you a return, excellent. But this is not about the return. This is not, it's about getting a return, not how much the return was. So if you get a taste, great. Good for 75, for half of them, great for 15 out of the 20, and excellent for 19 or 20 out of 20. The shock when I first posted that video and people said, I don't believe this, but I went to Paris and my golly, it works. And the shock in their voice was just like, what? I don't know. What? How does this? And I still get people objecting to it because they can't believe it happened. I'm just like, sorry, cash in your hand. That's the evidence. That's the evidence. But so the advanced topic of 5-spin method is that sometimes the day of the day are better. You can almost hear it in the air. That's the Casino Observations live stream from Tuesday. And so sometimes you can use this 5-spin method. This is the advanced stuff about the 5-spin method, and not necessarily for the newbies. They'll get to it, but maybe not right away. Which is, you can use it as a casino assessment tool to see if now is a good time to play when you do minimum bets. Yep. Just like before, I got a taste 19 out of 20 times, but you know what? I didn't make any money. I'll go to lunch and come back after lunch and try it again and see if I'm making money then, because the odds went up. And that's something you can do. You can also use it to, what I like to do is just try the 5-spin method at new to me casinos. And I'm pretty, right away, I'm like, wow, they don't have taste. It's not even half the machines that I'm trying are providing taste, but I still do it because I'm playing, up to 5 bets. I'm doing up to 5 bets on a bunch of different machines, and one of them is like $200, and I'm like, whoa. Pause the 5-spin method. I'm going to try tough love on this method on this machine because, I played a bunch of machines and now I'm seeing I used the 5-spin method to assess slot machines. And that's how I find, slot machines. And I'll do this not for just any random machine, but I'll do this for all the machines near an entrance to find out which one was set to be a winner. So you have the 5-spin method as a tool. Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. YouTube does take a cut. I thank you for the full amount. I appreciate it. Giving is giving, however, thank you. And it's a good thing. Yes, where am I? I'm at this, here I am. And so, yes, here we go. Okay. So improve your slots performance in 30 days or less. We talk about these strategies and more, and how to combine them, and you get free bonuses. So improve your slots performance in 30 days or less with my 30 days to play slots smarter and win. You also get 3 free valuable bonuses plus 1 month free membership to my Slots IQ membership. Use it whenever you want, right away or a year from now, or when you get to studying the course, where you'll get community support and accountability. You also have lifetime access to the course, which I haven't mentioned in a while. So I plan on doing an improvement, an update. Not that it really needs to be updated, but I'd like to add slides with bonus point up with bullet points, and some more visual components to the course to help people learn that way. If you're a teacher, you might know what that means. And so visit professorslots.com/30 days to see the free bonuses, course content, and testimonials from participants. Okay, so that's it. What a great live stream. You'll see me on my next live stream on Saturday at noon Eastern, or in Pacific time, 9 a.m. In the meantime, watch this video on my challenge to you to win more often at slots, which you can do for free. Bye.